Okay, hi everybody. We are live and getting some kind of feedback here. I don't know what that is. All right, hopefully that'll go away. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Thanksgiving Eve for a special treat, a guest we have tonight that very excited to have with us. Couple of things I want to just get to at the top here. Thanks everybody who's already joining us here. Michael Tomorrow saying, I really hope Facebook allows your page back up. Yes, Michael, our Facebook page just disintegrated. So I apologize for that and all 26,000 people that have followed us over the years there. We just relaunched a page there, Beyond Vaudeville. So join us back there and keep following us on Instagram and YouTube, and we'll see what we can do about that Facebook page. I want to thank Amy Sedaris, who was nice enough to share one of our videos with Buddy Clayton. Amy has like 1.5 million subscribers, so it really was a great boost for us that she did that. She was part of the New York Comedy Festival, as were we, and I want to thank everyone who joined us at the New York Comedy Festival, our live Beyond Vaudeville show. Our guest here tonight was actually in that show, so we'll be talking about that and looking at some of that. What else? The Etsy shop is still up and running. If you want to get stuff like this Beyond Vaudeville t-shirt, of course you do. Go to Etsy.com. Also, Frank Hope is doing cameos now, so you can look that up as well. And what else? As always, thank you for the support that you give us. Super chats are welcome as well. And that's all the business that we had to get to. All right, who do we have in here? Dennis Devine. Hi, Dennis Devine. Amanda Lust. Hello to you. Some familiar faces here. Robert Simpson. Hi, greetings from Western Australia. Awesome. Hi, Robert. Scuffed Harry Potter. Cheese 3.141. Stopped right there at the 3.141. And Matthew Fuller. Lots of familiar faces here. So, or familiar names, I should say. So anyway, our guest tonight is a very talented manualist, AKA hand farter. And I met him when we were doing Oddville. He appeared on Oddville twice, including our famous final episode, the wedding episode. So without further ado, let's please welcome Bruce Gaston. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, right. Great to be here. Yeah, doing some jazz hands there.
There we go. So Bruce, I can't remember how exactly we had found you when we were doing Oddville. Did you do an audition or?
Yes. They had auditions in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, which is where I live. In Northampton, Pennsylvania, and we went to one of those auditions, and it went very well. I can tell you that it went very well. So then we got on the show, and I've enjoyed it. It's just amazing what you do. So
now, Michael Tomorrow is saying in the chat that those are big hands. Now, do you have unusually big hands?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I've got short fingers, but a large palm. And, you know, I'm glad that we're talking about that, because I do believe that it has something to do with the kind of sound that I can get. And when I play and practice, and I've done this now, it's close to 60 years. There's a certain flexibility that you get here. And the sound actually comes, let's see if I can, between the thumbs there. It's hard to point out, but that's where the amount of time takes, like if you don't have that flexibility in this part of the hand, you're not going to be able to get the air out, and it's not going to sound like much. But I've done it so much over 60 years, that flexibility is still there, and I can propel that air out. And I enjoy it. I actually think it's healthy for a person.
Now, how about now? This is a great tradition, right? I mean, I've seen like early old black and white footage of a guy doing
Yeah,
this,
I know. Yeah.
and does everyone kind of have their own technique who does this?
Yeah, I think they do. The thing that's interesting, I just saw a an old movie that starred Ray Bolger. I think it was called Rosalia, and I happened to be watching it when he started making hand sounds in this movie. I recorded it, and he was going like that and getting sounds like that while he was doing percussion with his body, and I had no idea that he had anything to do with playing hands, and I don't know that he did, but he was able to get sounds. But I've known people who do it, and there are people. It's a good question. They have different styles. I know somebody that actually gets his notes through this part of his hand, and mine come between the thumbs there. So I do believe it's very individualized.
And I actually had produced one time Jerry Phillips of Michigan. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with him.
and also very talented at hand farting as you
Oh,
are.
yes.
And he had told me that he thought his special ability was because, believe it or not, I don't know if you know this, but he told me he was a thalidomide baby.
I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah, and and he's not shy about this. But anyone who's not familiar with this, in the 1960s, there was this terrible drug, thalidomide, that was it was terrible because it was a tranquilizer that should not have been prescribed to pregnant women, and there were all sorts of birth defects. And he was fairly healthy at birth, but his fingers are large at the ends, almost like one of those kind of toads that has like the large fingers at the end. Or I don't know if they're fingers, I don't know, whatever. And he attributed that to his special ability.
Yeah, I know. I've seen his videos, and one of the things that he does very, very well, actually, I think involves more of the forearms. He's very strong in the forearms, and he does very rapid. He's able to throw those sounds in there, and yeah, I mean, he's really strong. He's very strong manuals, and you can tell he's been doing it for years as well. I know he's been playing a long time. Yeah.
So you started back in 1968?
Yes. And
Okay.
I was at that time I was 16, and I got the idea from a friend of mine, and I just was incessant about practice, and I did it to the point where my parents, especially my dad, who was a violinist and a musician, music teacher, and he just was getting so annoyed at hearing me do that all the time. But it was very much like a compulsion. It was very much like something that I was not going to quit until I got the kind of sounds that I wanted to get. And the friend of mine that I got the idea from, we used to go around, excuse me, and play Christmas carols at people's houses, and that was fun. But I've kept going with it. He didn't keep practicing, and I did. So,
do you remember any of the Christmas carols?
The very first song that I ever did was "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen." I'll just do a little bit.
Wow, very nice. So you really treat this like an instrument, and
Oh, yes.
and you take it seriously. I mean, it's
I can tell you that when I practiced for the Comedy Village, I don't think I ever practiced so hard in my life. Honestly, I did all the. See, I'm also a violinist, and I did all the things that they tell musicians to do. Practice slowly, practice scales. I was going, and doing things really slowly, and I would play the two songs that I did. I mean, I did it so slowly that the notes became like just part of me. And I honestly, that's why it was a good experience, because, sometimes it takes a performance like that to motivate you to really pull the best that you can get out of yourself. So, yeah, I take it very seriously. I
Right.
still
All right.
do.
Well, let's take a look at that performance, actually. So
Yeah.
this was just very recently. We were
Yeah.
at the Comedy Village in New York City for a long overdue Beyond Vaudeville live reunion show, and you were kind enough to come out from Pennsylvania to New York for this show. And you were backed up by two of the members of the Zambonis, the all hockey band. Let's take a look at that performance now. Oh, let me just back that up. Sorry. Okay,
One of the
here we go.
world's greatest manualists, also known as a hand farter. And we have him here tonight, and he's going to play with the Zambonis. Please welcome Mr. Bruce Gaston.
Thank you. Okay, this is the big finale, all right? Can. One, two, three, four. Thank you very much.
Bruce Gaston, everybody. Thank you, Bruce.
Wow, well received. And I should point out that
Yeah, go ahead.
that is someone yelling out Bruce. A la
Yes, I do.
Bruce Springsteen.
I knew
That's not a
that.
boo.
Yep, right. But it gives me chills to hear that, and I'll just say there's just something about vibrating skin. It's just a great sound.
Mhm. And so now I noticed that, and you were doing this just earlier now on this feed. You kind of blow into your hands.
Yes.
What are the conditions that you need for your hands?
Very, very good question. It's something I've had to. It's a challenge over the years, many decades. It's a challenge because things have to be just right. There has to be a right, correct humidity. There has to be the type of feeling you get from the skin has to be smooth, so it vibrates properly. And it will do better if I blow. If I do that, I get a better sound, even if it's just for, I have to do it. But I found that rubbing them like this really helps, because I've been in a situation, or in several situations, where I got up on stage and it was kind of hot. Something wasn't right. And my embouchure, which is what they call you know, like with a trumpet player or French horn player or whatever with their lips. It just didn't work, you know, and I struggled, and it was not a good feeling at all. So this helps. That I've learned over the years that doing that helps a lot. So
And would you ever use like a chalk or a powder, or does that just make things worse?
I found actually this antiseptic gel works the
Ah,
best.
okay.
I don't put it on like right away. I mean, I put it on, but I don't play right away. I have to let it dry off a little bit. That seems to be the best in terms of dealing with, you know, the conditions with the skin. It's enough to give me anxiety before I play. You know, I'm going. I wonder what these hands are going to sound like. You know, but I found some that thing. That powder doesn't work so well for me. But I do use lotion every night. So, you know, I'm waiting to do a commercial for somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. So if anyone has questions for Bruce in the
Yeah.
chat, by all means do. Bruce,
Yeah.
I had a feeling this would happen, but there are requests coming through, and I don't know
Oh,
how easy those are to do. But
okay.
I'll throw them out there as they come
All
in,
right.
and if you're capable of doing any on the spot, feel free. If not, I understand.
Okay.
Matthew Fuller is saying, "I want to hear my Sharona," and
Okay. Let me just try that. I've not practiced it
okay.
in my show.
Wow. And then Liminal Hoarder is asking for Flight of the Bumblebee. I mean, that's got to be a tough one.
That's a hard one. That's a career challenge right
Yeah, I
there.
mean, that's
Yeah.
hard on the trumpet. It's hard on
Yeah,
however you're
yeah,
doing it,
that's
right?
yeah.
Yes. So let's see. So I think what I'll do, Bruce, is call up some images that you shared.
Okay.
And we can kind of talk about what some of these things were. So this is 1974, and this is you in a talent competition?
Yes. Yes. And I played it was at my college, Bloomsburg State College at the time, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and I played Bridge Over the River Kwai. Wait. Um, uh, wait. Now,
Wow,
if
nice.
you if you can see there, I actually have two microphones, and that worked well because what I was doing, actually, when I played it, I would go. You know, I don't know if you can hear it quite
Wow.
well
Yeah,
on that.
no, hearing both
Yeah,
those
yeah,
different
that's
tones.
no, this is a really interesting experience. I'm looking at myself, and I know and the microphones that they had there really were they worked very, very well, and got this, and that's another important thing, and that's what was really good about Comedy Village, that the mics were really good and the sound guy was great. So that's what helps make me sound good too. So yeah,
Yes.
that's what I did that. And I see the bell bottoms there. Oh boy.
Now, Echomancer in chat is saying, how long can you hold a note? And that would be tough, right? Because you eventually you're going to lose air.
Yes. Yes. And I don't have circular breathing, which you know they do with the trumpet. Let me see how long. No, wait. That's about it.
Wow, nice. A little Cat Stevens there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Now, Amanda Lust, who actually was at our live show doing the cosplay of David Green.
Yeah, that was great.
And Amanda is asking if you can do Let It Be.
Oh. You know what? I'm just here not catching the melody. I don't know why.
Of course, no worries. I mean,
Um, wait a
it's
minute.
it's
Well, you
it's
know what?
putting you on the spot.
I'll give you an alternative. Here's one. How about Hey Jude? Okay.
Very nice. Wow. Hopefully we can share this with Paul McCartney at some point.
I think you'd like it. Yeah.
So let's. So now this is 1994. You're starting to get press here. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was this one of the first articles about you, or?
Yes, it was actually. Yeah. One of the first ones. I was starting to, um, get out there and get some media attention, and it was, it was helpful. It was very helpful.
Now, what did your family start to think at this point? Was your dad still around when this came
No,
out?
unfortunately he passed away, but my mother was greatly uh, impressed and happy for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think my dad was too. He just he was annoyed by the constant practice. That's the only thing. He's just one of those things. He got a kick out of it too. He was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And now this, of course, 1997. This is you on Oddville, and we're going to look at some clips of that in a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to explain something about that. It's a little background on that
Yeah.
picture there. I have to tell you, um, see, they did not have a monitor for me that I could hear myself.
Mm.
So I didn't think people could hear me very well at all. And I was uncomfortable. I mean, I had to force a smile. And then when I heard it because what was going into the studio when they were recording it was really good, and that's what we heard at the event the other week. But right there, as you see me there, I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't working very well, and it was.
Well, you know what? Since we're in this moment, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call that up.
Okay.
And so this was an actual wedding that we did on Oddville. It was our last episode of Oddville, and Bruce was part of the band. We had a musical saw player, and what else?
Oh, that's
Yeah. Wow. So
wonderful
how
to
long
see
did you
that.
practice for that?
Oh boy, I'll tell you. Well, I didn't actually know I was going to be doing the wedding processional that day until I got there. I didn't know, but it was part of my standard repertoire. A lot of people, I would be at weddings, and I'd say, "Hey, well, you should have had this done," and so I had it kind of practiced up a little bit. But what the effect that it's having on me as I see it, and I heard it that night at Comedy Village, was that there I was thinking it didn't sound, I wasn't getting much of a sound at all, and that people weren't hearing it. And then I hear that, and I hear reverb, and I hear it blasting out, and it's just it's enough to give me the chills. To think I went from thinking it was terrible to hearing a sound like that. It was wonderful. Thanks.
And then that was followed by I don't have the clip here, but right after that,
Yeah.
we had Suzanne
Yeah.
Muldowney,
Yes.
our woman known for doing her underdog performances. She sang "We've Only Just Begun," and you accompanied her on
Yes,
that.
I did. And
And
what a great singer. Oh,
yeah,
she's wonderful.
yeah, very good voice. And but she's also, as we all know, she's very particular.
Yeah.
And was it challenging working with her?
I think she's even being with her a couple weeks ago. I think she's a very nice person. I think I didn't have any trouble working with her, and I just know that she. I think was one of the great moments in television. What would happen there with the the pop? Oh man, I don't think that can't be. That really wasn't even planned that way, was it? I mean, I can't imagine.
No.
It just happened right at
Yes,
that pause. It
if
was straight
anyone
from the-
hasn't seen it,
Yeah.
at Beyond Vaudeville here on
Yeah.
YouTube, if you look up our wedding episode, you'll see Suzanne
Yeah.
doing the Carpenters. We've only just begun, and Bruce.
She did not like that. That bothered her, but I think she got over it.
But but the sounds that you make, and I
Yeah.
know you treat this like a real instrument,
Yeah.
and you do get amazing sounds from it. But people would argue that it's a kind of a silly sound, right? Like a raspberry fart kind of sound.
Yeah.
And did Suzanne have any issue with that, or
No, she didn't say anything about that, and I didn't. I probably had a chance to do that for her backstage at Comedy Village, but I didn't do that. I know that there's certain sounds that she doesn't like. There's certain things that bother her ears, so I didn't want to mess with that. Yeah.
I'm looking here in chat. You're getting some nice cheese. 3.1 is saying bravo. More requests coming in. Robert Simpson asking for Benny Goodman's "Sing, Sing, Sing."
I don't know that one. I'll have to work on that.
That's a 21-minute long piece, isn't it? Yeah. Yellow Submarine, Mr. Ice.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Nice. All right. And let's see. Chris Bungo Studios saying, got here late. Bruce, how do you get your hands to produce different notes? Does it have to do with varying the size of the opening? Chris, you're going to have to watch the replay of this because we covered that ground. Right, Bruce?
Yeah. I do. I do adjust the thumb. The thumb has to be adjusted for the note.
There we go.
Yeah.
So you did another appearance on Oddville, and we have that as well. So let me call that one up.
Yeah.
And here we
Why
go.
don't we bring out our next guest? We're very excited to have. Please welcome Mr. Bruce Gaston and Mr. Ken Purcell. And Mr. Gaston, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, Frank.
And Mr. Purcell, how are you?
Okay.
Now, you guys have been playing together for 5 years? Is that
About
right?
5 years, yeah.
And you're actually working on a CD now.
We are.
That's right.
We've managed to stay out of jail, too.
That's great, I think, right?
I always think that's a really positive step. Generally. What do you call that, actually?
Actually, this is called manualism. And It's just the art of being able to make music by squeezing one's hands together. I can even do a wah-wah. I just go. It's all natural.
Oh,
bad.
for those jazz numbers.
Yeah, it's all natural.
Yeah.
Now, you've been able to do this for years, right? Like,
I've been practicing for 30 years,
30
yes.
years, wow.
And it's, just been a very long road, but it's been worth it.
Now, it's been rewarding, but it's also gotten you into some trouble, right? You were doing this in a movie theater?
That's exactly right, and almost got punched out because somebody thought that I was making bodily noises, and they thought they were for real, but they weren't.
Okay. And now, Mr. Purcell, I understand you're having some problems with groundhogs. Is that right?
I've got a yard full of them, yeah.
Okay. And,
But they really dislike the sound, the pitch that comes from his hands. So we practice out in my yard a lot of times and see them go scurrying into the neighbors. It's like those little sonic things you put in the ground. This works better.
there's a good practical use for that.
Yes, there
I
is.
guess. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, stay with us, guys.
There we go. So your partner there, Purcell, are you still performing with him?
Not as much as we did. He got off into doing another type of entertainment genre, I should say. But we did play. He accompanied me when I played at Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Take me out to the ball game. I played that 17-inning stretch, 10,000 people, and he was on guitar. And that was 2023. So we need to get back into it. But as recently as 2023, we did do something, and that was really went well.
Yeah,
So,
you guys are a good duo.
yeah, it goes well with acoustic guitar. It really does. Todd Rundgren.
Okay, so this is 1998 with Todd Rundgren. What happened here?
Well, interesting. This is an interesting story. We somehow we got this job to open up for him. It was Ken Purcell and I. And when we got there to do this, we found out that, because I'm also a violinist and I was going to play electric violin as part of what we were doing for our opening act. And they said, no, you can't do that. And it has something to do with not being, Todd had something written in the contract that the opening acts were only allowed certain number of microphones or certain number of inputs to an amplifier. I forget exactly what it was, but I can tell you that I ended up doing 25 minutes of hands.
Wow.
No, I was not ready for that, but people still liked it. We did. I never thought. I think that's the longest time that I did anything with hands that it went that long.
Now, there's no photo, but you had mentioned to me that you actually had played for Muhammad Ali at some point?
Yes, I did. And that would have been in 1977. And he looked at me and he liked it, but he gave me what is his form of a left-handed compliment, like left hook compliment. He said, "You're not as dumb as you look." And I know that he used to say that to some very important people like Howard Cosell, and he said it to David Frost one time. And so I considered myself to be in pretty good company. The fact that he said that to me. So
now, was this he had some sort of camp, a training camp in Pennsylvania or something,
that's
right?
That's where it was, up at Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. He was up there, and that's where he trained. And I would go up. I actually worked about 20 minutes from there, and
Wow.
I would go up and watch him train. And then one day I hung around and I waited for him. And I played for him, and he liked it a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. So this is
Yeah,
this is what you guys were talking about on Oddville, right? The CD that you put out.
Yep.
And quite a few songs on here, right?
Yes. Yep. Look at that.
Wow. And was this a lot of work putting this together? This CD?
Yeah, it was 3 years. It took us 3 years to do it.
Wow.
Every song has hands on it. Some have more than others, more hands, but I still do a lot of violin on that, and Ken sings, and I think it's a classic, but That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, can people still buy this or find it
Now
anywhere?
we they could. We don't have a real um, mechanism for that, but if we were out playing, yeah, we'd sell those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Bungo is asking, did the CD ever get the attention of Dr. Demento? He probably would have been a good fit for his radio show.
No, it didn't.
Ah.
That was an opportunity that was missed there, I think. So,
Well, he just retired, so
yeah,
I don't know if that's happening.
yeah,
So 2001, you end up on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
yep. He's holding the
And
CD. Yeah,
you were part of a trio on this one, right?
yep. We were known as the three tendons. That was a hand whistler and two hand squeezers, like me, but they didn't introduce us as that, though. We were known as the body part musicians. So it was it was more saccharine.
Now, do you do hand whistling as well, or have
No,
you tried that?
no, that's a skill too. In fact, the guy that we were with had been on the Tonight Show previously when David Letterman was guest hosting for Johnny Carson, and he's amazing. He could hand whistle and tremendous skill. So it went well. I mean, it's just like we had fun.
Now, here's another trio, but this was a different trio, and this was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, this was a kind of a we just got together for this. Jim is on the right, and he and I have played together for a number of years, known as the Four Squeezins. And but for this particular trip to America's Got Talent, Ben was no, it's not Ben, sorry, Larry. He was the guy that he had the idea for the hand costume, and he would play his teeth, but you couldn't really hear it. So
yeah. So how did you guys do?
The picture's worth 1,000 words,
So you didn't make it past the audition on this one?
No, but we were happy to at least have gotten some airtime, because we knew a lot of people that went out there and they auditioned, they got on a stage, but they never made it on the show, even for a couple of seconds. So they couldn't really say they were on America's Got Talent,
Right.
So yeah.
Skyscraper Television, who was at our live show and had a good time there, and it was nice meeting you, says, are there any female hand farters?
Really good question. Really good. I don't know of any.
Wow.
And the only, there was the gentleman who was on Tonight Show back in the 60s and 70s by the name of John Toomey. He got on, he played his hands, and he had a what he called a family hand band. And I think that everybody in his family did it to a certain extent. And some of the children that he had, and they were kind of grown up, there was a female in there. That's the only time I ever heard that, but I know of nobody. And I think it just has something to do with the fact that they didn't want to be associated with practicing something. So, it was pretty, it's pretty masculine. I would say that, but that shouldn't make a difference.
So it's kind of like Major League Baseball, I guess.
Yeah.
Toto Payne Diaz is saying, it sounds like on the Tonight Show, they were somehow shunning finger snappers. Is that a skill that do you have any other skills like that? Or is it specifically just the hand farting?
I don't have any other skills like that, except again, I play violin.
Right. But I mean, with your hands, like not snapping or whistling or.
My claim to fame with that, no, I have the general answer to that question would be no, that I don't. But my claim to fame with the hands is, see if I can get this vibrato out. You probably have heard it in the other songs, but that vibrato was
Yeah.
something I spent 15 years working on that,
Wow.
and so I don't think anybody else does that. But
Yeah.
so I'm considering. There probably would be some things that I could be able to do with my hands. I don't know, snapping. Hey, you know what? It's never too late. The hand ball, yeah, why not? I should be working on that. Yeah.
So this was pretty cool. This was in 2012. This was a competition in Europe.
It was Das Super Talent, which is the German version of America's Got Talent. And I got on that show. So I don't know how, but somebody heard about me, and they flew me over, and I was not part of the competition. They never said that I wasn't. It was like an unstated knowledge type thing that I was just going to go out there. They wanted me to play. One of the judges there, Dieter something or other, was a rock star in Europe, and they wanted me to play a song that he did in My Sherry Baby, something like that. And so I worked on that and went over there and did that. And they were so accepting. They were very nice. You walked out on the stage, they cheered. That didn't happen in America's Got Talent, I can tell you that.
Wow.
So I felt really good about that. And he, ended up giving me that medal there that you see. So, but I was in and out, and a lot of people were asking. I did get some inquiries about, hey, are you part of that competition? And no, I wasn't. I just kind of went out there and
Added attraction.
That's how they did it.
Yeah. Okay. And then so now you went back to America's Got Talent. This as a solo act, or?
No, I was with Jim Rotondo, and in that particular picture, he just wasn't there when I had that done. And we were just that's backstage. We were walking around, but he and I went out and did Ava Nagila, and they wanted us to, they tell you what they want you to do. We gave them options. They say, "Well, do Ava Nagila," and the judges at that time it was Howie Mandel, Simon, and it was Mel B from Spice Girls and Heidi Klum. And Howie Mandel liked us a lot, but Simon didn't. Simon went over and hit Howie's buzzer. And so it was short-lived. Let's just say that. But once again, the photo ops were great. We were out there, and we could say we were on the show. So I was actually on twice. I was on AGT twice.
I'm not surprised that Howie Mandel appreciated your performance. He's been very supportive of our Beyond Vaudeville Instagram page. And
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have here. So now we're 2021. Aha. So here we crossed paths again.
Yes.
I was working at You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno, and was looking for interesting talent who could also play a game. And you came out to LA and appeared on You Bet Your Life. And how did you end up doing on this?
Oh, we did very well, but I can tell you, the woman I was with, I forget her name, unfortunately. She was the brains behind everything, because I did not know the answers. And we ended up like we were kind of figuratively joined at the hip as far as the money is concerned. And she went for it all. She risked something at the end and I said, no, I don't want to take a chance. She was really good. If it wasn't for her, I would not have been raising my left hand there. So
yeah, it's funny. We had everyone who was going to be, we taped a lot of shows. I think we were up to like 7 episodes a day we were shooting at one point. And so it was a very large pool of contestants, and you were divided into 2 different rooms. And then we would just kind of pick one from room A and one from room B and put you together. So you two didn't know each other.
No.
Yeah.
I know she was a hostess at a restaurant. And,
Okay.
I do remember that.
All right. And you did some of your music, of course.
Yes.
And then that same year, you also were on Jimmy Fallon.
Yes. Yes. And that was the first time I did something down here where I am right now. And I did Take Me Out to the Ball Game there. And I think that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I submitted that to this baseball organization, and that's what helped me get on to actually do it live in the stadium. So it was Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and went very well.
Nice. And what do we have next? Next up is
There it is. Yeah, there we are.
So you were talking about this earlier, right? This is a minor league baseball team?
Yes, AAA. Yeah, and 10,000 people there that night. And I had to hold my hands down close. That is because I've had a problem playing in stadiums. I did it one other time and it didn't go well because I play if the mic was lower than that, there would be a delay that caused a lot of trouble for me. And so I made the decision to put the mic up by my ear, and then I could hear myself play without hearing this delay. It seemed like an eternity. It was probably a half a second, because that really threw my pitch off if I heard it that way. So this actually was one of the more. I'm so happy I did that, and it was successful.
What's the name of this team, and what is that mascot?
Oh, Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Yeah,
Ah.
that's one of their mascots there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's remarkable, Bruce. Would you have ever guessed when you were doing this, starting so many years ago, 1968, that you would really be this accomplished and have done so much with this?
Well, no, that's the short answer. And I can tell you that one of the reasons it works out that way is that if you really like what you do, if you find something to be a challenge, and you find that's your intrinsic reward, that some of these other things just kind of fall in place. And that's kind of what has happened. And I feel, as though, and I still think I've got a few more squeezes in here before my time is over. But I mean, meaning in my career. But if for some reason I didn't, if I went, oh, there goes the tendon, or something, and I go to the doctor and they say, well, we can't repair that. I have to say I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. So no complaints.
Because guitarists talk about how as they age, it becomes difficult to play with arthritic conditions. And I remember one time at Jimmy Kimmel, I was looking at a rehearsal of Ted Nugent, and and he was playing, giving it all in his rehearsal. And right after he finished, I saw him looking at his fingers and his hands, like they were in pain. So, I mean, this could happen to you someday.
Yes. And it could be the result of taking a squeeze too far. One squeeze.
Skyscraper Television is saying, could Bruce try the 1975 classic Feelings?
Feeling?
Feelings.
Oh, yeah. I could do it. I just don't remember how that. I know that basic melody. Yeah.
And someone had asked earlier about Iron Man.
Oh, well, let me try that. If that's it, I think that's it.
And you do it just in the moment, and
you know why? Because I was practicing my scales.
That's right. So in addition to the hand farting, you're a violinist. You play in orchestras. You've been a special ed teacher as well.
Yes.
Over the years. Yeah. And so is this a skill that you are passing on to future generations?
I wish I could. I wish I could. The interesting thing is that, I say to people, I say, well, if you want to get this good, it's probably going to take you 30 years. And then my wife says, don't say that. You're just going to discourage them. So here's what I'll say. You'll get as good as me maybe in 29 years. Okay. So, but anyway, no, in all seriousness, I'm just joking about that. I'm very humble about everything that I'm able to do is because I did a lot of work, but I wish I could teach somebody. I really do.
And you have now you have children, yes?
Well, yeah, I did 2 stepsons. Yes.
Uh-huh. And was this something that they ever attempted to do or had any interest?
I think a lot of people have tried it. They thought they ended up like giving up too soon, and then that was one of the things that I just did not want to do. I did not want to give up on it.
Yep.
So
Well.
yeah, but it's the kind of thing that I really would be happy to hear. There's got to be somebody, that's in this world that's been squeezing away. Somebody with a lot of time on their hands, I would say that. And they could, just could come out. I'd be happy to hear it,
So this is truly a practice makes perfect kind of.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
Let's see. Chris Bungo is saying, I just tried it, Bruce. Couldn't get a sound out. Rich, have you tried? I haven't tried, actually.
Yeah. You got a bit of sound. You get a little sound. That's how it starts.
But it's not coming through my thumbs. You said yours actually goes through the thumbs, right?
You're right. That's how I do it. But that doesn't necessarily mean Jim Rotondo, the guy that I was telling you about that I played with, he actually gets it. Wait. No, he gets it here. I'm sorry. He gets it here.
Okay.
And I think that would be where the future lies for me, possibly, is to find more areas of the hands to produce, certain sounds like. That would at least add a variation on it, so I think there's some possibilities there.
Well, Bruce, your dedication to this art is phenomenal, and we're so grateful that you've shared it with us over the years and that you shared it with us tonight. I'm sure this was very enlightening to everyone that watched, and probably surprised how much work really goes into this. I thank you on behalf of everyone here.
Thank you for having me, and I can tell you that you ask very good questions, and the people I'm really quite happy with the comments and actually the requests. That was really fun. No, this is very, very respectable, and all I can say is it was
great. No one asked you to play Far, Far Away or any of those.
Well, like the one that I'm steering away from is 100 Bottles of Beer on the Wall. And that could probably take, I don't know how long that would take, but then I actually researched this. There's a version of that which is it's infinite bottles of beer on the wall, and that song never ends. It never ends.
Well, everyone is thanking you in the chat. Bruce, Amanda is saying you're a delight. Bruce, thank you. I'll tell you what, let's try one more request. If somebody wants to put in another request, and we'll see if Bruce can do it. And if not, we're not going to hold it against him because he's been doing amazing all night here. So any last requests from anybody in chat that you want to hear played by Bruce with his amazing talent? Michael Tomorrow went with a very obvious request that comes up often. I don't know if you know this one, but Freebird.
Okay. I'm just not getting it. But you know what? I could do it. I could do it. This melody. How
All right.
about can I finish with the
Yeah. Go ahead.
Stairway to Heaven?
Wow. I wish I had that skill back in high school when we went to Led Zeppelin at the planetarium on Long Island, and they were putting the lyrics to Stairway to Heaven over the dome. And to have been able to kind of fart along with that in that moment, it would have just made my life. Bruce, thank you so much.
I think I might be able to do the guitar solo on Freebird. Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Well, thanks, Bruce. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Please like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already here on YouTube and on Instagram. And again, we've got a new page on Facebook, Beyond Vaudeville, the Etsy shop, Cameo, the whole Megillah, as they say. So thank you so much, Bruce, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Rich. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed this.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
All right. See ya.